There have been some people tweeting out and some quotes that I saw today about the city of Detroit from players that makes me think that this Lions organization is going to boop right up to the top when it comes to boop players signing, free agents coming to Detroit. The first one we have here, David Montgomery.
I love that this happened.
This is awesome.
This was a couple hours ago. This morning, I just got the itch. I tweeted out how underrated is David Montgomery, and there's been a pretty good response, or a really good positive response. And then a couple hours later, he says this. That was music to my ears. That just melted my heart.
This isn't just like, it's not just him. I want to read this quote too from the Lions flagship station this morning. Jared Goff was on there, and this is the quote that he had. He said, "If you want to play for a real, genuine dude who cares a whole hell of a lot about his players, come over here. It's been a fun place to play. He keeps it fun, keeps it light, but also keeps us extremely accountable." That was Jared Goff on Dan Campbell and playing for Dan Campbell. I'm telling you what, guys, it's crazy because I'm sure if like we went back 10 years and all these different regimes and we were like to go back in time and to travel, whatever, the DeLorean, and and I said, "Hey, KG," and it's like a 13-year-old KG. I'm like, "Dude, I'm telling you what, Detroit's going to be on a Super Bowl run. They're going to win the division. They're going to win multiple playoff games. There's this guy named Dan Campbell, and he's going to change the whole culture of the city."
The tight end?
The tight end, Dan Campbell. Do you know that guy that's playing for the Cowboys right now?
Wow.
That guy, and he's going to come in, and guess what? The Detroit Lions is going to become the #1 destination for free agents in the offseason.
Why you lying to me, bro?
No one would believe it. Everybody would be like, well, "You're kidding."
Lions fans.
Get out of my room.
That right there, though, fellas, that quote from Jared Goff, seeing D-Mont do that, Jared Goff's fiance put something up on her Instagram and say that how much they love Detroit as well. Like, things have changed here a lot in the last, and when you win, when you change the culture, and when you start winning, things change, man. Things change.
Yeah, Corey Berry provided a nice little reminder. ESPN's Bill Barnwell said preseason, David Montgomery was a downgrade from Jamal Williams. And on the topic of coming to Detroit,
what a joke.
If you guys remember,
I won't do it. I won't do it.
Just do it. I'm about to get petty for a second.
I think someone in my seat
was
here.
Was it that Bears fan?
On the morning show, Flannel, I love you so much if you're listening. I think he said Jamal Williams was better than David Montgomery as well. I love you, Flannel.
We all have bad takes here and there.
When I hear that, that's the
first
thing. Because I remember the specific show. I remember the tape. I remember it all. And it just like my brain was just blowing up.
That was a bad one. Jamison Williams blocking is important, and Cam Sutton does not stink. Also, Micah Parsons, remember in February of 2023, last year, Amon-Ra St. Brown, when Jalen Ramsey was talking about getting released from the Rams, he made a little plea to Jalen Ramsey, like, "Hey, you played with Goff, like, come hang out with us in Detroit."
I remember this.
Micah Parsons decides to quote tweet over the top of that. He says, "I'm sorry, no one going from LA to Detroit," with laughs.
What the fuck? Now
Yep.
I want to put a poll, and if this poll is not 100% to 0, I don't know what's going to happen. Right now, if you were an NFL free agent, what city would you rather go to? Dallas or Detroit?
Ooh.
Throw in both LAs if you want to as well right now.
Then you go ahead and do that. But I just want those two because I want to show Micah Parsons.
I like this.
I want to show Micah
too.
Parsons, and I know we're a Detroit show. A lot of people, it better be 100% to 0 because Micah Parsons. Guess what? What you guys have been doing, and I know we just won the first division in 30 years and first playoff game. So. When was the last? Did the Cowboys win a playoff game last year? When was the last? I don't even know the last time they did. But they're America's team. They're a team that has had everything already. What are we talking about, Micah Parsons? Guess what? You made that comment last offseason. 12 months later, who would want to go to Dallas? Who wants to go play at the Dallas Cowboys now? You guys are way farther down on the list when it comes to free agent destinations than Detroit. Detroit's at the top. Dallas is at the bottom now. That's dead serious.
Every playoff game now is a recruiting visit too. Like we talked about Michigan in the national championship, you get to see Michael Jordan and Derek Jeter up in the stands. But now with all the publicity that Ford Field is getting, everything surrounding the Jared Goff, Matthew Stafford game, all the chants for Jared Goff, Dan Campbell, week 18 trying to get Josh Reynolds his incentives, his bonuses by just feeding him the rock because they know he's a gritty player who does the dirty work. They want that all factors in. So every playoff game now is a recruiting visit. I was just about to say
Oh
the
my
guy
gosh, this
that
poll
Jared Goff
is
said.
7% Dallas. This is going to make me mad.
It might be Micah Parsons because he is home right now. He's on his couch.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
So
I mean, it might just be the whole
He's the
Dallas,
whole 7%.
might be the whole
Yeah.
Dallas Cowboys team. Right
Yes,
now.
it might be
They're
Brad
texting
Allen.
each other. Hey guys, we need to go win this poll right now.
Might be Brad Allen too.
Yeah. I mean,
By the way, you guys know Brad Allen, they never got demoted for the playoffs. Remember that story that happened?
Did they
Yeah.
play?
Just got washed over. I don't know what game but
They played it?
There was
Or
nothing
they-
official, I don't believe.
Wow.
Well, I don't have any official.
I haven't
we'll
seen
get
their
to
name
that,
pop
but
up in the playoffs.
They-
though.
the
You know-
key is people want to come to Detroit. Sorry?
Yeah, besides them, they don't want to come to Detroit. There's no way in hell that they ref a game at Ford Field
Yes.
on Sunday.
0%
Yeah,
chance.
no
Otherwise,
chance.
that will be the loudest.
Budget Jim, he
Ford
said,
Field will ever be.
he said, I voted Dallas, better climate. Listen, I would rather be in negative 30-degree climate than go play for the Dallas Cowboys right now.
Does it really matter when you play in a dome?
It does,
really
yeah. If
doesn't
you're in
matter.
the dome, you're in Jerry's World, man. Go to Jerry's World. Go have fun. It's Jerry's World.
Also-
go have fun in Jerry's World.
Also, I don't have
Losers.
any final numbers, but there were some. I don't know if there were polls or people were tweeting out before the game, like Lions. Actually, maybe Neil Rule did on Facebook or something. Like Lions fans, if this game was outside and you had to watch this, like in comparison to the Buffalo Bills game, like you guys would all want to go, right? Or however it was phrased, but so many people were like, without even questioning, the first playoff game in Lions history, I'm going outside. And it was so cold.
Oh,
they don't care. This
would have
is
still been
Detroit.
packed.
There's something special about the city of Detroit supporting their football team. And I know historically, and there's more to it, but when you think of the blue collar workers, the guys at the automobile plants working on the assembly line, they work all day, all week. The one thing they get to get excited about on the weekend, their day off with all their friends that they work with, is a Lions game. On Sunday, the entire city tunes into the Lions game. Then they get right back to work on Monday. So seeing a team, and I love seeing the clips of the older guys in the stands. I forget his name, but he's the 88-year-old with season tickets forever.
Benjamin.
Benji.
Benji.
Like,
Benji.
this means so much.
Shout out
and
Benji.
this team fits the city perfectly.
It does.
It's not something I can really speak like I'm not old enough and I don't live in Detroit, but I hear the stories and I hear family members who grew up down there, and it means so much to them having a team like this and Dan Campbell lead them. A gritty team in Detroit is everything we could ever ask for.
It's way better than
And they're good.
a losing franchise in the Dallas Cowboys.
Yes, and they're good.
100%.
Way better than a losing franchise in Dallas. I want to say this too before we end this segment. Think about this, guys. Can we all agree Brad Holmes is one of the best in the league?
Yeah.
Can we all agree that he's going to, he brought in some good free agents with C.J. Garner-Johnson, David
Sutton.
Montgomery, Cam
Kim
Sutton.
Graham Glasgow.
So he's done a good job in free agency, right? He's one of the best in the league at what he does. Think about how easy it's going to get for him now that they're winning and that players are coming out saying this culture and what's happening right now.
Yeah.
Like last year, it's like, okay, yeah, you started 1-6, finished 9-8, didn't make the playoffs. Like you still have to pitch. Like you have to sell the culture. You have to be like, hey, no, like we're serious. We're turning things around. Like you have to do a little more pitching. This year, guys like CJ and Jared Goff and David Montgomery, who have came from other places to Detroit and who are very vocal about what it's like playing for Dan Campbell and Brad Holmes and being here in the cult, and you're actually winning football games now. Brad's he's going to be able to get a lot of guys. And it's not just normal. Like, he's going to be able to get high-level guys who are willing to take some pay cuts and who are willing to go short-term deals. He's going to get some dudes. KG?
Yeah, and I think the big key is they treat our own well. You know, I think that goes a long way.
Yeah.
We've kept a lot of our same guys. I remember after that first year, a lot of people was like, they're keeping a lot of the same players. That was like a big topic of discussion. Like they're running it back. Like why would they do that? We were 3-13, but you see how it panned out. And I think that goes a long way towards like this culture thing. Also, I told you that the division and the playoff win were like there was a package deal.
Yep.
You needed tangible results to be able to show free agents like, okay, it isn't just talk about the culture. Like they're actually winning games now. So us not only up in our win total from that year two, us winning the playoff game and stuff like that, it's definitely going to make free agents want to come here now.
And the players, if there's one thing players trust the most, is other players, and them advocating
Especially
means more than anything that we could
vocal
ever
guys
say.
like
Right.
C.J. Garner-Johnson. He's a guy around the league that people like. Jared Goff, people respect these guys.
Yeah.
And it's
Cam Sutton.
Yeah, going to completely go a long way with re-signing our own players, too, because they've embraced this city. They've done everything the right way. In the past, superstars like Ndamukong Suh have walked And that's never going to happen with this regime. I guarantee they're able to keep all the top guys that they want to.
It's the culture, man.
And I know, it just speaks to it.
Guys will get paid, and the culture is there. Brad will pay. When you draft guys, like Brad Holmes drafting guys, he's going to pay the guys he drafted. And those guys, like we said earlier in the show, they're top 5 at their position. And when you have... I'm excited to see the next couple draft class because I think like he's going to bring some more guys. This team's going to just keep growing, man.